Yeah, hi to my subscribers. Just wanted to make a video update of how I am. This is the worst I've been in my life, entire life. I've literally been broken down. I know there's no point making this video. Nothing's gonna happen. I think people are just gonna bully me. This is the worst age I've ever experienced in my life, and the worst time I am living. At home, everyone thinks it's gonna, everyone is gonna think that I'm a loser because I'm living with my parents. But I had no choice. They forced me into a degree I didn't like. I refused to go to that university because I knew it wouldn't be good. But they forced me to go. They said we'll put you in a mental hospital unless you go. And I was only 22 at that time, or 23. And I used to trust them and love them. I didn't know they were going to be the most toxic and biggest terrorists. And when you tell them they're terrorists, they get even more angry and hurt me even more. And I've been broken down. There's nothing left of me. There's no hope of me ever escaping Dubai. The biggest hellhole. They're forcing me to stay here and to work with my dad on his business, and he's the biggest asshole. When he wouldn't get a job, my mom gave him all our money, and he opened a business, and he's not even able to run that properly. If you tell him he doesn't do it properly, he gets even more angry. And I know what's going to happen is I'm just going to get really bad comments, and I'm going to get spied on by my, you know, people from school who watch and laugh because they were nothing compared to me in school, and they still aren't. And I had better grades than them, and I was, and I still have more talent than them, but they just, will laugh at me because you know, don't have anything going for me in life. But I just wanted to warn people. I mean, to me, it's common sense and it's obvious, but I wanted to tell my subscribers I'm not doing well at all. I need to escape this place. I'm being tortured every single day. This is like the Sheikh Latifah, situation. My parents aren't sheikhs or anything, but this is a horrible place to buy. There's horrible repression here, oppression, and all kinds of problems. Like the place where I stay right now, it smells so bad. I can smell the stench from outside, you know what I mean? It stinks, and the water tastes so horrible in Dubai, and the food tastes rubbish. You can go to a very classy, like five-star place, and the food won't taste good. And then when you tell them, the manager will just tell you something like, "But you ate all of it." And this happened to us actually in one place in Atlantis. Uh, Now you might think that if your parents are abusing you, then how did you end up in the hotel? Well, because you know it's very complicated. The situation is very complicated. I can't explain it, but I thought I'd make a quick video telling people. And I know what's going to happen is probably it's going to get taken down by YouTube because right now Trump is president, which means that fair is foul and foul is fair. It's from Macbeth a line. He's the worst man I've ever seen take such a high position of power, and we never knew he was going to be this bad. He always showed himself like a very nice person, Trump. And when he actually got the power, he started showing his true colors. He started attacking the media. He's always attacking the media. Anyone who does anything against him, whether it's conflicted, the media is bonkers. And Tom Steyer, he wants to impeach Trump, which is very good. But for 2 years, he's just been talking about impeaching him, and now there's an investigation been opened up into Trump's situation. And when are they going to actually impeach him? I don't think it's going to happen. I'd be lucky if he doesn't win a second term. But it's been the worst period I've ever experienced in my life, especially after Hugh Hefner died. Things have been getting even worse because he was fighting repression his whole life, and he was an advocate of free speech and freedom. And I just wanted to warn people about what a horrible hellhole UAE is. Like if your parents turn on you, you're finished because there are no opportunities, there is no freedom, and the conditions are so horrible, and no one talks about it. They just show you the Burj Khalifa and the Palm Jumeirah and the Atlantis and all this stuff and the Dubai Mall. There are 4 or 5 properties that they made, but they're done so distastefully, and it's not even fun going there. The people act like animals in Dubai. You go to the public washroom, you'd be lucky if you don't get splashed water on you, because the people are so rough, and they'll just, come and like not splash the water in the once I went to a public restroom in Dubai Mall, and I got water on my lip because the guy splashed it so hard, and it went in his sink, and it then touched my lip, and I didn't know what to do. I just had to accept it and go and eat my food with the germs on me. And I've had many other horrible things. It's so dangerous over here. I mean, right now, like, I've been attacked here and about 3 or 4 times, and I've lost like body parts. Like my brain is damaged. I have traumatic brain injury, and I've lost like motor function in my right brain a little bit. My parents wouldn't even get me, a health checkup, and wouldn't even help me get a health checkup. So it's horrible that I have to ask for money like this, but I don't even have a way of receiving it. But if I could get some money, then I could at least leave this, and stop the cycle of abuse. But I don't think it's going to end like that. I think it's going to end with me finishing myself off. And because I don't want to kill myself, but I have no choice, because nobody wants to live a horrible life like this. My parents have tortured me so badly in every way, physically, emotionally, financially, and in every way. And the tales are so horrible. And then I had reached out to a therapist, and I thought therapy was the answer. And then I reached out to this, author of Toxic Parents. And guess what? Even she said "fuck you" to me, and she just said, "I don't want to take your case on, because the cases in that book are so easy. If those parents are so toxic, then how come those kids have careers? I don't have a career right now because my parents didn't even let me get my education done properly. I didn't want to study that. I didn't want to go to that university, but I was forced to go there. And when I left that university, my mom made a huge fuss. My dad never paid for my university on purpose. He didn't want me to get successful or in any way. But I just want to warn people that my parents are the worst people to ever walk the face of the earth, and they have ruined my life, and I'm broken down in every way, and I have no help. My relatives don't help me in any way, and nobody even knows what I'm going through. But I am finished, completely, and I'm just trying to leave Dubai. But this is the most horrible place I've ever lived in. I don't have any tears left. I used to cry a lot. I've been through everything. They tell you you're depressed. They tell you that you need to go back to a normal place. But they don't tell you. They don't guide you properly. What career you want to do? I wanted to do an arts degree, not a commerce degree. But I have half a commerce degree. And this place is so horrible. They don't even give you a job. Even if you're the most skilled person. I have so many skills. I couldn't get a job in Dubai. What a horrible place. No jobs. Horrible leadership. Terrorists are leading this place, and if you speak out against them, you get jailed. I'm taking a big risk because this account, once I said something against some imam or something on this account, and they caught it and they showed it to my dad, and he's going on showing it to my mom. This is how they embarrassed me and humiliated me and dragged me through the mud. I'm not even being able to represent myself. I need a lawyer right now. I couldn't even get a lawyer in this place. I contacted Detained in Dubai. They are giving me such short replies, and they don't even care. They were caring about Latifa a lot, and they're saying free her and all that, but they don't even know that she's already been killed. But I just wanted to make a video about saying that I'm not doing well, subscribers. If you care, I don't think anybody cares actually anymore, because everywhere I go I get rejection and humiliation, horrible humiliation, and I don't see any way of lifting myself out of this poverty. All I wanted was to get out of this country and live in a better place. And my parents didn't support that at all. They're forcing me to stay here and to work with my dad for no pay, slave labor, and to work with such a horrible and arrogant man, and completely incompetent and completely arrogant, the most arrogant person and he hates America, he hates Jews. He's just like Hitler in every way. He never got caught, worse than Hitler. So is my mom. She sympathizes with him. And these people love Sharia law, they love Islam, they love these horrible things that you can't even talk against over here. I have so much talent in me, but they're not even, helping me in any way to succeed in any way, or to to get successful, to get free, to be happy. They didn't allow me to have a girlfriend my whole life. They've been the most repressive people I've ever known, and they've completely finished me off. I am not even making any sense because I didn't write any notes before making this video, but I just wanted to warn people that Dubai is a horrible place. Like don't, like, if you come here just for like tourism purposes, okay, if you have a lot of money to waste and you can afford to make a few mistakes, go ahead. But what a lousy place. It's not even safe. The Muslims, they attack you. You go to get a haircut, the barber will hit you on the head so hard you get brain injury, and it'll be an Arab barber, and they don't even support Israel, this country, in any way. They don't even have an Israeli embassy. They don't have any ties to Israel, like diplomatic. They don't even talk about it. They don't talk to Israel. They don't like them. They only support Palestine. It's a horrible country, and Trump is a horrible man for shaking hands with Mohammed bin Zayed. And I'm probably going to go to jail, but I don't even care at this point because I just want the truth to come out that this UAE is one of the biggest hellholes in the world, one of the top 10 hellholes of the world. There are other countries that are hellholes, and most of them Muslim countries are the biggest hellholes on earth. And you just, you don't get, it's not, you don't have to be a genius to know that there's something really wrong with Islam and with Muslims, and the worst people and the worst countries are theirs. And if you go there, you're fucked. And only the worst people, worst of the worst, go to these countries, like people like my parents, who have such a big grudge against Jews and Americans, and against Israel, against Europe, against Germany, against America. Like people like my father and people like my mother who sympathize with him and tag along with him and didn't do even have the decency to fucking divorce him. And I wouldn't be surprised if the UAE government catches this video and shows it to my father again to further fuck me up, and then my father will show it to my mother, and then they'll fight with me and beat the shit out of me. But I want to say not all torture is physical. My parents have perfected the art of non-violent torture. They have been torturing me my whole life. I wanted to end. Somebody help me out, please, because everybody has been turning me down. I know I'm going to get some comments which are going to say you're crazy, like YouTube. I've been getting such bullying comments on YouTube lately, which I've never got. The president is a bully. He has enabled all the bullies to go and do their worst and to destroy all good people, and he's such a horrible man. He needs to be impeached, needs to be ASAP impeached. I mean, I'm mixing a lot of topics. I'm saying, one is the update. I'm not doing well, subscribers, if you care. Because you did subscribe to my channel, you must have seen some value in it. This is the worst I've ever been doing, and I don't see anything changing for me anytime soon. I think I'm just going to suffer. I'm going through a very bad cycle of extreme suffering and despair. And it's not even depression. It's not depression because I'm being tortured very badly, and it's not ending. Nobody's coming to my aid. Nobody's understanding what I'm going through. And I'm being forced to live in a horrible, horrible hellhole, in horrible conditions, in a horrible flat. And I'm not being helped, just enough that I can succeed in life and get, my own money and my own finances, and just, get enough health care so that I can succeed. It's hard to summarize because there's so much going on. So one was the update for how I'm doing, which is not good. This is the worst I've done. I wanted to make videos to inform people. There's not even any air in Dubai. There's so much wrong with it. The food tastes like shit. Okay, the water tastes horrible. The same companies that you get everywhere else, like which tastes fine everywhere else. Like even in a place like India, it tastes fine. It doesn't taste good in Dubai. Like and you drink it and you think you just drank piss. The air, there is no air, there's no oxygen, there's no plants. They've built all these buildings, but instead of putting some trees first, you should have put some trees over here first, create some oxygen first. But they don't go by reasoning, they go by religion, and they have a horrible cult, which they follow. And they treat you like shit, You can't speak out, and even just for speaking out, I could go to jail. I'll be lucky if they don't catch me, but if they catch me, somehow I get unlucky. I've been very unlucky. They could catch me, I could go to jail, and there's so much to speak out against. And these are just the minor things, like the way people treat you, the way they behave so rudely, the culture, the atmosphere. This is the one of the most horrible places, and it's not even doing well financially right now. It's going through a low phase. But I see tourists come here. The trashiest of trashiest people. They come and I don't know, maybe they like wasting their money. But to me, it's a big waste of money. So I'm warning people who have any sense: don't waste your money on this place. It's a horrible place. There's a lot wrong with it. I might make a list next time and talk about fun facts or things that are wrong with this place. But the biggest problem is, everybody knows that already, that it's a horrible place and these are horrible people and they don't know how to run a country, and they're just going to torture people and trouble them and repress them. And if someone is going for human rights, he'll end up in jail for 10 years. If it's a woman, she'll be like tortured or whatever, and all kinds of shit. And those are just the things that people can catch and see easily. There's so much else wrong over here that I cannot even describe. Anyway, thanks for subscribing. I can't even breathe right now. There's no air over here. I'm literally choking right now. I might have hypoxia. I might get brain damage, even more brain damage than, there was once I went to a park in Dubai just to get some nature, and they make you pay $5, and then you go in there and it's like trees planted in the sand and being watered. Nothing is proper over here. They destroyed the entire environment. There is no environment. This is one of the few places in the world that there is no environment. Why? I mean, there must have been some nature, but the Muslims, they obviously have destroyed it. Like most Muslim countries are totally barren and they're just desert, because trees are bad in the Quran, so the jinns hide under trees, spirits or whatever, things like that. And you don't get any like realism, you get just that. But in real life, trees are actually really good, because they support life, and all kinds of good things come from trees. I went there and the guy kicked a ball to my head so hard. I've been hit on the head by very hard things earlier, like metallic objects and, concrete, like building material, like concrete, like a rain cover and all kinds of things. I never got TBI out of that, but this guy hit me on the head so hard with a football, with a soccer ball, that I got, my motor movements were I think I got brain damage out of it. Then when I told my dad about it, he never even told me to go to the hospital and get it checked out. And we thought it would just get okay. And he is the most useless man I've ever known. Just some guy who got a degree because he cheated, and not because he was competent or a good student. The worst man to walk the earth and never get caught is my father, and that's the worst lady is my mother. And you might think I'm just blaming my parents, but I'm not blaming them. They actually have fucked my life up royally, and it's not going to end anytime soon. They're just going to keep happening. They're going to live long, and they're going to keep destroying my life. I'm never going to be free of them. People are just going to laugh at me, and nothing's going to work out. And people might say change your attitude or whatever, but try living in this situation. They've destroyed my life, and everybody knows that Dubai is a horrible place. But why do I live here still? Because my parents forced me to, and it's like slave labor. It's like torture. It's like a concentration camp, worse than that. Because the Nazis, at least, I don't think they were as bad as the Arabs and the Muslims, because they are much worse. And people like my parents, they're much worse than even the Nazis. I'm not saying Nazis are good people. They were very bad. What they did was horrible, but it pales in comparison to what my parents are doing and what this place, these Muslim countries do, and especially the Arab countries, because they're even worse than Nazis. And what people will do is that they're going to start shaking hands with them. Trump will start shaking hands with Mohammed bin Zayed and Mohammed bin Salman and congratulate them for murdering and torturing people. For torturing the journalist, murdering the journalist. He'll be very happy because he also hates the media, and he's also a terrorist. who should be locked up, and never let out of jail. And probably he should be, given a death sentence, because he's such a horrible man. And his whole family's so horrible, they should all be locked up. And they should be hung for treason, and for colluding with terrorists like Saudi Arabia, and for letting him go even though he murdered a journalist. Fuck. Nothing good is going to come out of this. I'm just, in case there are subscribers, I don't think anybody cares for me at this point, but in case there are subscribers who care for me and want to know what I'm going through, this is a brief update of it. So I combined 3 topics in this video, and I'm shutting it down now because I've spoken for about 20 minutes, so that will take some time to upload. I don't have a good connection here. I have a very shitty, my dad has given me a very shitty 10 Mbps connection. 10 Mbps is the download speed. Upload speed is like, less than that, like a quarter of an Mbps or something. So I have to go now and go back to living my shitty life. And I've been trying to break free of this trap for the past so many years and unsuccessfully, and I don't think I'm going to make it. And I think what's going to happen is I'm just going to decide. There's no easy way to kill yourself, sadly. That's the truth. And if there was, I would have done it. Because what happens is when you try to kill yourself is that you end up in a bigger mess because your health gets just messed up. You don't die fully. You get health gets damaged even more, and you end up in a bigger mess. But if I could do it, because there's no way out. Nobody likes to be tortured. Nobody likes to suffer. And I'm being tortured and I'm suffering a lot. And nobody could help me. And the people I even paid money to help me couldn't help me because they don't want to help me. They don't want to understand. They have very easy lives. Their parents love them. They got jobs. They got the degrees that they wanted. So it's easy for them to laugh, sit and laugh and have a good time. But I'm finished because my parents don't cooperate with me at all to even let me leave this country, and that's just a small part of it. The ways I have been tortured, and I can't even speak out because my mom is at home right now. If she wakes up and she finds out that I'm talking about her, there'll be another fight and I'll be tortured and abused even more. But I am being tortured and abused in horrible ways that I cannot even describe. And to advocate for myself is hard because I've been broken down by my sense. I have no hope left, no happiness left in me. And it's not depression because, that's different. That's when you don't feel good, and all that stuff. And it's a different condition, when you have some freedom and you have some hope, but you just don't feel good, you feel down. That's different. This is not depression. This is like when you imprison someone, trap them, and beat them up and whoop them non-violently in every way possible and destroy their very life and their very existence